Hello and how are you? In this section, we will see about how we apply font families. So in order to apply a font family, we use a font family property. So let's have some contents first. So paragraph, fonts family or Times New Roman. For the second one, we apply fonts family of area and font family of Lucida. Then we can use the style tag. Inside the style tag, let's give ID attributes for the paragraph, ID for P1, the second one ID of P2, and the third one ID of P3. So for using ID, we use a hash, the MP1. Besides that, we use our font family. So we use font family. Then we put font family name. So for example, Times New Roman. So if the font family is more than one word, we use a quotation around those words. Then we can apply more than one font family by putting comma, then times, and we can apply serif. So serif indicates that the decorated text is at the edge of the text. So we can, if the browser supports Times New Roman, it shows in Times New Roman. If it does not support it, it shows in Times. If Times also does not exist, it shows one of the font families from serif. Serif is a general font family name. So from those general font family names, it shows one of them. The other we can apply for P2 fonts family of Arial, Helvetica, and sans serif. It is Arabic word, I think so. So sans means none or it does not contain decorations. And the third, for the third paragraph, font family, Lucida, console. Since it is two words, you put it in comma, then career new, and we can apply generic font families such as monospace. So here we put P3 and we put quotation around it. So after applying this, we can save the file and let's see what it looks like. So font family. So as you see, all three of them have different font families. So this is how we apply font family in CSS. Hello, how are you? In this section, we'll see how we apply font style. In the previous section, we see about how we apply font families. Now let's see how we apply font styles. Font style is to define a normal text or an italic text. So in order to apply a font style, we use a font style property. So here we have a code from the previous video. So there are 3 paragraphs having an ID of P1, P2, and P3, and the font family already defined. So let's simply add font style. So first, let's see what it looks like. So the text looks like this one. So let's add a font style property. Font style. Then we give it a value normal. So if we refresh this one, we do not see any change on the text. So let's change it to italic. But if we change it to italic, we see some slanted texts. So italic used to slant has some angle. We can also make it oblique. It has similar effects also italic. So oblique, normal, and italic are some of the font styles you can apply in your text. So that's how we apply a font style in your text. Hello, and how are you doing? In this section we see about how we make fonts bold. So in order to make a font bold, we use a font weight property. So let's have some text first. So let's have H1, then having title I am bold, and paragraph elements I am not bold. So we use line styles. So style. So inside that we use H1 selector. Then we use fonts weight, and it have 2 possibilities, normal, the first one. So let's see what it looks like. Font weight, I think, so let's rename the file. Rename it to 09. So let's open it. As you see, the text is normal heading file. Now, if I change it to a bold, and let's save it, and if I refresh it, the text is changed to bold text. That's how we use or change the text into bold text, by using the font weight property and giving it a bold value. The other property we see is a font variant property. Font variant property used to change texts into small cap letters. As we see in the browser, the paragraph is, it's not all capital letters, but we can change it into small cap letters by using font variant property. So in order to do that, let's select the paragraph element, then we use the font variant property to make it a small cap letter. So small caps. So the letters is changed to capital letters, but in smaller size. If we refresh it, we see that all the letters are changed into small capital letters. This is how we use font variant to change letters into small capital letters. Or the other possible value is normal. So there is 2 possible values. Is normal and small cap. Also for the font weight property, there is two possible values, the normal and the bold property. So this is how we use the font weight and font variant property in CSS. Hello and how are you doing? In this section we'll see how we apply font sizes. There are different units or font units. So let's see how we apply those in HTML document. So the first thing, we create some elements, h1 element for using pixel for font size, and let's have a paragraph. And let's have another heading one. Simply let's put horizontal rule to separate it, and heading one using percent for font size. Paragraph. And there are also other units such as heading one for using viewport width, which means the viewport area, the visible part of the browser width is called viewport width. So we can use viewport width as a unit for font size. So let's say paragraph of here and the last one, I think let's apply some rules, HR rule and H1 using EM. So there is a unit called EM, so we can apply that unit. 1 EM is equal to 60 pixels for most of browsers, but it may differ. So 1 EM is 60 pixels, we can use based on that. So paragraph, here I am using EM. Now let's give it some class. For the EM, let's give it a class name or ID of EM. For the viewport width, let's give it VW. For the percent, let's give it ID of percent. And for pixels, let's give it ID of pixel. So now let's apply style sheet in the style tag. Style. So for ID pixel, we use hash, then pixel. Then inside that, font size property, which is 10 pixels, for example. So let's see first. So now we see the heading, and the font size here is 10 pixel, very small text. You can increase the pixel size to, for example, 50 pixel. Now if we refresh it, we get a bigger text. You can decrease it 20 or other pixels. So pixels are simply a collection of dots. So this collection of dots creates an image in your computer screen. So here pixels, we can define font size by using the pixel size. The other is by using percent. So we use hash percent, and we apply font size equal to 100%. So if we use 100%, there is no difference in the text, but we can decrease it or minimize it. For example, we can make it 50%, which means half of the current size. So watch over this. When we make it, it decreases the font size into half of the size, or we can increase it to 150. So browsers have a default font size. From that default font size, it multiplies it by the amount of percent it increased. So now it increases the font size. So that is how we use in percent. The other one is by using the third one, viewport width. So viewport in simple terms, it means, let's decrease it. So the visible area only, the squares, the visible area in your browser indicates that it is a viewport. So it takes the viewport and it calculates the size of your text based on that. So let's suggest it. Let's try viewport. So font size equal to 10 viewport. So which means 10% of the viewport becomes the size of the paragraph data, the font size of the paragraph data. So it is relative, and based when the window decreases, it's the font size also decreases with the window size. So let's save it and let's refresh here. Watch over here, refresh. So it increases based on the window size. If I minimize the page, for example, so the text also decreased based on the width of viewport area. That is how we use viewport with text for font size. The other is EM. EM stands for, in simple terms, it is, let's make a comment, for example, here. Let's search EM. So EM stands for 1 EM is equal to in most browsers 60 pixel. So based on that criteria, you can adjust the font size of text. So here we give the font size, for example, font size to be 0.5 EM, which means if Chrome uses 60 pixel, the text size becomes 8 pixel. So now watch over at the bottom, it decreases the text size. If I make it 3.5 or 3 EM, it multiplies 60 by 3, which means 48 pixels. So the text becomes larger. So if we get, as we see, the text increased to 48 pixels. So that is how we apply or how we use font size in HTML by using different units. Hello, and how are you doing? In this section we see font shorthand. In order to apply fonts, we use different properties such as font weight, font family, font size, font variant, and other properties can be applied. But there is a short form for that. So let's see. So in order to apply that, let's create first a one element having title of shorthand form font. Then let's apply some paragraph and let's put some statement. I use font short and property. So let's apply the style tag, and inside the style tag we use a p paragraph and we use the shorthand font family. So here is the syntax. we use font, then font. The font weight, the font size, and the font family are mandatory. The font weight and the font family, the font size and the font weight are mandatory particles. The font size and font family values are required values, so we have to use them in our font shorthand. So let's apply some of them. So fonts, we use that property. Then inside that property, we apply italic. For font style, we can use small caps. For font variant and for font width, you can use bold or normal. Font for font size, 20 pixels for font size. For line height, 30 pixels. And for font family, we can use times. Or we can add a serif category or general font family. So let's save it and let's see what it looks like. So it is italic, it is cap, and it applies the size of the text. So this is how we apply those. So we can use the other category, for example, fonts, by using simply the font weight and the size, the font size and family. For example, 12 pixels for font size and font family real, or we can say times and serif. By applying comma here, the same way at the top. So let's comment the first one. So the small caps will be cancelled out because we do not apply small cap. So we can apply a font shorthand by using such methods. Thank you.